What's going on, guys? It's 11:30 in the morning. We're about to hit a chest and back workout, and just wanted to talk about a couple things. Pre-workout meal-wise, all I had was a small orange, a banana, and I'm about to have a protein bar. This protein bar is filled with a lot of sugar, so it's not the healthiest, but it's also cheap. But it's a nice and easy way for me to get in a little bit of extra protein in the day while also having a little bit of extra sugar for the workout. The cut's been feeling great the week before and this week as well. We're going to start off the workout with a little bit of pre-workout. Now, I half scoop personally. Why? Because I have a very small heart. I'm a small person. So I really don't need that much. This here is like a little rock of pre-workout in here pretty much. Just going to slap that into the water. Let it mix. Let it do its thing. I'm also going to take a creatine capsule as well. Just going to down that real quick. I like the capsules more than the powder because I just feel like it's a lot easier and less messier. But you can't really mix these into things like if you have it with your coffee or something, which I know a lot of people do. I feel like I really have the calorie count down now in terms of eyeballing everything. Because I believe it was week 4. I lost 2 pounds, but I lost all my energy, all my strength during all the lifts. All the lifts felt terrible. And I'm also trying a newer workout split now. I have a little bit more rest days in between. That way I can recover a lot better and perform a lot better. Yeah, now I'm focusing on really getting in my carbs before and after a workout. And then after that, I can really minimize on carbs and fats. And I focus a little bit more on protein. And I feel like that's been having it a lot easier to digest by nighttime as well. Yeah, and I've been feeling great for every single workout. I've tried this routine for a week now. It's been feeling great. About to hit chest and back again. This is going to be the second time I'm hitting it. I'm also going to try to record as much of the workout as possible because the gym I go to, you'll never see anyone recording there or anything. So I just want to respect everyone's privacy. I really only want to get certain angles, minimizing the amount of people that are in it besides me. I really don't want to bust out my tripod. I feel like that's really extra inside of a gym like this. But yeah, let's get straight into the workout. So before we get into the actual workout, we're going to start off with this warm-up that I do, banded up and overs, and these are amazing for shoulder mobility, along with warming up the upper back muscles. And I like to do about 2 sets, 15 to 25 reps. So now we got the first exercise, mid-grip cable rows. We're keeping our elbows at a 45 degree, and we're going to go all the way to failure. And once we've hit failure, we're going to bust out a couple more partial reps. And then after that, we're going to go into assisted reps on only one side. And then once we get to the next set, that's when we're going to do the assisted reps on the other side. I like to do flat dumbbell bench, 2 sets. This is the only exercise that I'm going to have a rep scheme for because I'm trying to build my strength in it. So we're doing 2 by 6. This is going to be a recreation. I'm going to go over the form and stuff that I'm doing for it. All right, so we're here. Chest out, shoulders back. Get in a really, really deep stretch on the chest. Press right up. Deep stretch. I like to keep that neutral grip for that deep stretch just so the dumbbells don't get in the way of my chest, so they don't need to rest on the chest. And I'm going in for 6 reps. And then after the 2 sets of the flat, I like to drop down about 15, 12.5-ish pounds. And I like to do 2 sets with an incline dumbbell press. I'm going to do a beyond failure technique of partials where once I'm down and I can't do any more reps and I feel it, all right, I'm going to let it come down, press up a slight bit for a couple reps, really pump it out. Either that, or if I feel too much, pressure building up, I'll take a break for 10 seconds and bring it back to my knees. And this is pretty much called a myo rep set or a cluster set is how I like to call it. And I'm just going to bust out as many more as I can, rest another 10 seconds, bust out as many more as I can. Same idea. I'm always trying to get as deep of a stretch as possible when it comes to my chest press, on any type of chest press. Neutral grip for that really deep stretch. And then once I get all the way to failure, I'm going to be here and I'm pressing it up as slightly as I can. And now let's say I'm not able to do that. Say there's just so much blood filling up my chest and shoulders that it just feels extremely uncomfortable to be able to do so. What I'll do is I'll come back up just like how I did. 10-second break, come right back, press up as many times as I can. Typically with this method, you're really only going to get about another 3 to 5 reps. You shouldn't be getting any more than that. If you are, then you did not go anywhere close to failure on that first set. Same idea, another 10-second break. Right back to it. Next up, we have close grip rows. Preferably, I like to do this with the V-bar attachment, but I want a little bit more range of motion, trying to drive the elbows back as far as possible. Same idea here, our elbows are going to be really close to the body, and we're going to go all the way to failure, and then once we hit failure, we're going to do some partials to finish up the set. Next up, we got a cable chest press. Now we are going all the way to failure, and once we've hit failure, we're going to end with some partials. Now I'm trying to get a really deep range of motion here, and as you can see, this is 3 times sped up, so you could just see how slow and controlled all my reps are going. I'm really taking the set super close to failure, as close as I can, and that's a good benefit about using cables. Then you can get really, really close to failure without worry of injury. Next up, we have the wide grip row. Typically, I like to do this chest supported, but you can also do this with the cable machine as well. So for the wide grip row in general, obviously we're taking a wider grip than we usually do. From here, we're going to flare our elbows out to about 80 to 70 degrees. You don't want to be all the way at 90, because then this is gonna mess with the rotator cuff from here. So we're gonna be slightly below, chest out, shoulders back, pull right in. The bar is not going to touch our chest. That is perfectly normal. Our elbows can only go back as far as it can. So we are not trying to force the range of motion. And then we start doing weird stuff like shifting the elbows forward just for it to touch our chest, which accomplishes nothing. And as I get to failure, I have one of 2 options. Either I'm here, I bring it back when I know I've hit my last full range of motion rep I could do, and I'm pulling it in a slight bit more and just pumping out as many more half reps as I can. That's option 1. Or option 2, I go and go and go, and eventually my reps are going to start to look like this, and then I bring it back. Another cluster set or myo rep set, however you want to call it. Bring it back, 10 to 20-second break, all the way to failure. And the reps again, they start to look like this. Bring it back, and then go to failure one more time. For the last exercise for chest and back, we are going to have a chest fly that is going all the way to failure with a very deep range of motion, along with partials at the end, and we're going to superset that with some rear delt flies. Same idea here. You can see that this is sped up by 3 times right over here, and you can just see how much control I have during the whole movement and how much I'm controlling the negative, and just really focus on hammering in that muscle. You can probably see by now that I alternate a lot between chest and back exercises, and I like to do this because it gives my chest a little bit of a break when I'm doing my back exercise, and when I'm doing my chest exercise, then I can give my back a rest. So that way I'm able to hit these muscle groups really efficiently for all the sets, and I don't feel very dead going from one chest exercise to the second to the third. Now that we're done with all the chest and back exercises, we're going into the first bicep movement, which is an easy bar curl, 2 sets of 12. Next week, I like to go up 10 pounds and do 2 sets of 8, and 10, then 12. And the week after that, I add the weight and go back down to 8 reps. This is the only exercise that I'm doing it this way. It's just for a way to grow strength in my biceps as well. We can also see that I'm keeping my elbows pinned to my body as much as possible and not letting it rise up, so there's only tension on my biceps rather than any in the shoulder. So next up, we have cable curls. I like to start off the cable curls with a close grip first, because that is the harder grip as it requires more strength. I keep my elbows pinned, curl right up. I'm not a fan of rising up with the elbows because that takes tension off the bicep, puts more towards the shoulder. So close grip, nice and pinned. And my reps at the end, the middle starts to get very difficult. They'll start to kind of look like this, slowly getting up. I like to bust out 2 to 3 like that. Control negative, and I bring it all the way to failure. And once I can't do no more, I bring it down, take a little break. We go on to the wider grip curl. This one tends to be slightly easier for me specifically. And we're curling up. We're busting out as many more reps. And same idea, I'm going all the way to failure till my middle rep starts to look extremely difficult. And then from there, elbows back, we're busting out a couple more drag curls just to pump even more blood and go beyond failure for the bicep. To take whatever grip is most comfortable for my wrist, right? We're getting that full range of motion down and we're curling up all the way to failure. And once we've reached failure, what we're gonna do is I'm going to come up here, a little lower again, and then now if I know I can't get this rep, I'm gonna lean forward, have a better leverage from here so I could cheat curl it up, get into a stable position, slowly curl it down, and I'll bust out about 3 to 5 more, just like this.